we welcome you back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. We've got the Escondido football team joining us, and our intern facing the wrong direction there, which is always a pleasant way to greet new viewers into our show. Let's start down the line here, and let's introduce ourselves, name, grade, and position, please.
My name is Evan Foote. I'm a junior, and I play receiver and corner.
Have you given thought to playing kicker?
I have not.
No thought that maybe just the name alone gives you somehow like some innate ability to kick?
I've never tried.
Okay,
I can give it a shot.
Coach, can we have a little PAT next time we do that? We run him in there just to see.
So we've done punt, pass, and kick competition, and I guarantee you the kids would not pick Evan Foote.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the pressure needs to be on in a little bit more football setting. That's all I'll say. All right, let's keep going.
My name's Caden Hermson. I'm a junior, and I play defensive end and tight end.
Caden Thompson, a freshman, and a QB.
Ronnie Witt. I'm a junior, and I play safety.
My name is Jake Fleming. I am a junior. I play outside linebacker and running back.
Jeremy Oakley. I'm a junior, and I play defensive end and outside linebacker.
And I am Steven Dixon. I'm the head football coach this year for Escondido High School.
And first full year for you?
This is my first full year.
So you took over in spring, yes?
I took over in the spring. I was hired in January to start the year.
So you have had a little bit. You're not playing catch up necessarily. You feel like this is going to be a little like you've had your footing, time to get prepared. This is your camp. Things feeling good?
Absolutely. They had their first full, I think they can all attest to it, their first full spring camp. And then we also had our first sevens tournaments during the summertime, something they haven't had in a couple years. So,
and from your guys' point of view, I know this is kind of an open question, but how's camp been? How's the preseason? How are we feeling? That can be answered offensively and defensively, everything in between, but just open question to you guys.
Camp's been great so far. We've been pushed to a level that Escondido really hasn't seen before, and I think it's for the greater good. Our team has developed super quickly, and I think it's going to leave us with a positive outcome on our season.
I think there's a certain defensively there's a certain competition level that we have to bring in order to really compete with the offense, because we have a good offense, we have a good defense, so I feel like every day we push each other to be better, and sometimes offense isn't doing the best or defense isn't doing the best. I feel like we pick each other up in a way.
Yeah. Going on what he said, I feel like we pick each other up, especially on defense. We're pushed every practice to hit hard. As Coach Dixon says, he wants some dogs on defense, so we go out and hit with our pads especially.
I think camp's been good. Offensively, we're trying to compete with the defense. Same with defense against offense. Just being competitive and then getting after it.
Have you had any moments yet where, because you are a freshman,
Yes, sir.
on varsity,
Yes, sir.
playing quarterback, have you had a moment yet where football's been a little fast, where you've been like, ooh, I took that linebacker a little bit quicker than planned, or has things been pretty smooth sailing adjusting to the varsity level?
I think coaches make it super easy. Just identifying safety rotation, all that good stuff. I think it's been pretty smooth.
No bad sack yet that you're like, that one, no. The offensive line been holding up okay?
Yep.
All right,
Pretty
there we
good.
go. I like it.
Got me off.
Coach, do we agree? Has the defense been taking it light on him, or has he been given adequate baptism by fire?
We definitely compete, and he knows that. At the end of the day, though, Caden is just an absolutely fantastic young man on and off the field. It's one of those situations where I know when people hear he's a freshman, they're like, "Oh man, we're starting a freshman." But when you get to meet him, when you get to talk with him, when you get to spend time with him,
It either means you know something or you're desperate.
oh, he has
one of the two. There's no
he
middle
has
ground.
it, or it's like we have no other options, right? But we're grateful that it's he has it. And so
Is this one of those things where Foot's going to have to play backup quarterback, and we all know nobody would vote for him on that too?
No, we're pretty squared away at the quarterback
apologize for that.
position.
There
but
was no need for you to catch
to,
that straight.
to Evan's credit, Evan is needed elsewhere. He's valuable at receiver and at defensive back for us.
So for you guys, and I this question maybe comes as a little bit of like it's framed through a negative, but if you look back at last season, was there a loss or an experience last season that you think kind of like left you guys with a chip on your shoulder, gave you guys your purpose this offseason of like, hey, we're grinding to either just to get back at that team, or just that experience was such a bad one that it kind of brought us together? I feel like you have an answer already. So yeah, please go ahead.
I'd like to say that it was. I'd for sure say it was a learning experience after going. What was it? 2-7, 2-8. Oh, 3-7, yeah. A losing season. It was our first year as varsity. First year as varsity also.
Because most of you would have been sophomores, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were sophomores, and when we approached the off season, we all wanted to get in the weight room, get bigger, especially against Morse, because they said they're going to 50 ball us this year, which isn't happening. Definitely want to produce some dogs this season, and we're definitely come out hitting on Friday.
So is defense going to be, again, these are not meant disrespectful to one side or the other, but is defense the one that's going to be a little bit of the team identity out the gate, and then offense is going to have to figure out, who are necessarily going to be the best options, or are we going to see a little bit of everything? What are we going to see from you guys first couple of games this year?
Defense is really good. Hard hitters, good coverage, but our offense is great. We got some new offensive coordinator.
Sneaky great?
We have a couple players and a couple plays that we're going to have wide open touchdowns. I have a good feeling about that. But I feel like we're good on both sides of the ball. We have a good defense, and our offense is just going to go down the field, get some points, and then our defense is going to stop them.
Pass heavy on the offense this year?
Yeah.
Why not go all the way in? Like, is that what we're hearing?
I'm going to say that we're pretty balanced. However,
all right,
we do.
We're not going to your camera anymore. You just go to cliches. You just go to. I know you're a recent head coach, but you're already diving right into the deep end of. We're on to the next game. We're preparing for so and so. So go ahead, please.
Let me tell you this. From an offensive standpoint, Jerome Watson's one of the best offensive coordinators in the county. I mean, for me to have him as my right-hand guy, he's not only my best friend, but somebody that has wreaked havoc when he was at La Jolla High. We were at Saints last year with a young talented team, and he did some amazing things with Brady Palmer. And so Caden's now carrying that mantle, and I think under Coach Jerome's tutelage, he's just going to absolutely have a great freshman campaign, and we've got guys around him that are going to step up and do amazing things on the offensive side. So to say that we're just going to be a passing team or just a straight running team, we're going to be a really good offensive well-oiled machine.
Yeah, that's my job, to get the sound bites of like, hell yeah, we're going to throw for 5,000 yards. I want that clippable for Instagram and whatnot. All right, so looking up and down the schedule, then I usually like to ask like who is the rival, because I know sometimes schools have, Valley Center, like whatever, that's our rival, but you guys seem like maybe it's Morse that you're hungriest for this year, or is there one on the schedule that you're like, hey, if somebody's gonna have a chance to come out and check out an Escondido game this year, we want them to come to that one?
I'd for sure say SP, because that's our crosstown rival. That's probably our biggest game. The reason why we just want to beat Morse as bad as we do is because the stuff they say, and especially this is our first game of the season. We need to show out. I say show up and show out.
Everyone's in agreement. You're all coming for San Pasquale. Like that's the.
I also want to throw OG in there just because, I mean, we that's also another crosstown rival that we historically have had good games and won a lot of games against. I think this year it's going to be fun playing them, our home opener. I think we're going to get a lot of people to come out because last year we played them. A lot of people came to the other side of town and watched the game and stuff. I think that's going to be a fun one.
So you think decent support then from the student section out the gate this year?
Definitely.
Yeah. What it has the hype is back already this year?
You could see the hype coming back last year, especially when we got our a new change, but it's for sure coming even more this year, especially with the hype we have on Instagram and stuff. But I just say, especially the student sections, it's going to be a loud home games, especially at our stadium. It's going to be loud.
It's a fantastic
it's going to be
stadium.
bumping. Yes,
it's been
beautiful.
great to have the football finals there the last couple of years, but I'm sure that has meant you guys are super salty.
I know,
seeing finals played in your stadium this year.
Yeah, it's like a little nudge at us. But.
So is the I mean, I'm assuming the goal is CIF championship and all that. Like, is that where you guys are setting the bar for yourselves this year?
I want to go all the way. I don't know about you guys, but I want to go all the way to state before I graduate. I want to win. I want to get a ring. That's just me.
I think that has to be the goal, because if you don't practice like a championship team, if you just say, okay, we just want to be a good team this year, you'll practice that way and it'll kind of stay that way. I think this year we have to set an expectation for ourselves and an expectation for the program for the new kids coming in the next few years. And after most of the upperclassmen are gone and freshmen like Caden carry on the legacy, I think that has to be the expectation.
Sounds like you use the word legacy. It sounds like you guys, as a junior class right now, have a pretty solid idea so far of like who your identity is and what you want to accomplish. So it seems like with 2 seasons left to get that done, people should look out a little bit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so we are the junior class. We have a huge junior class at our school. We've all played together since we were freshmen, and we have most of the juniors. We're all really close friends, and you can see that on campus, like out off the field and stuff. So we have, I think that's something really special that we have. We have a tight-knit group, and we take everybody, I think between the upperclassmen and the lowerclassmen, there's no barrier, really. I mean, we help people get better. We help people do all sorts of things. And I think we, as a junior class, we lead by example. So I think that's going to be a big part of our season.
Is that coming from coach, or was that already kind of just instilled in you guys as like a group, a little bit of both?
I'd say coach, especially coming in during spring practice, we'd have these leadership meetings, and he would talk about how to talk to each other as a team, especially not having that barrier as an upperclassman and lowerclassman. You guys want to be, I mean, one of our 4 covenants, because we chose 4 words, one of them we chose was to be unified, and I feel like unity is one of our biggest things this year. There is no barrier. Everybody is your brother, and it's a whole family that we live around.
Coach, has the full message soaked in, or is there even more still to instill in these kids?
I think my first year here, the biggest thing you want to do is set culture. And I think we've done a pretty good job as a coaching staff. We've got a fantastic coaching staff that has established a great culture of trying to allow these young men to lead and giving them opportunities each day, each week, to lead not just the program, but to lead on their campus and to ultimately lead in the community. And so, for these guys, they really have taken that message seriously. They walk around with a lot of pride and the way they conduct themselves. Just yesterday, I had to, handle some things from an admin side, and was able to kind of peek in the weight room. And although they were supervised, they kind of took the weight room by themselves and just really, took it to it. They had such a high intensity, and it carried over to practice. So just
what's
really
playing
proud.
in the weight room then during that time?
So it can't be any explicit music because coach does not allow that. So it has to be
That's
clean
called coach
music.
has to cover his ass.
Yeah, so clean music. I'd say more, I'd say Little Baby, Young Boy. I don't know. Young Boy, when Young Boy gets bumping, I feel like everybody's, hitting the weights hard.
Is there about 75% of those lyrics are censored out in that final
yeah,
version? So basically you're listening to Young Boy instrumentals.
Yeah,
With like the occasional
basically.
1 out of every 5 words.
Because everything's just, just blurped
Can
out.
you sing the clean version for us?
Jeremy, go.
Okay.
Like I don't even think I can sing the clean version. Like it's just like
It's just noises.
it's just noises. It's just a bunch of.
So okay, but Young Boy's got so basically you're liking his producer and his instrumentals.
Of
behind
course,
it.
I mean we're trying to blow the rocks off in the weight rooms, But
Okay,
yeah.
so get it nice and loud. Is that carrying over? Kind of is that the vibe? Like who's the vibe guy in charge of the? Like is there the team? I get team captains and whatnot, but is there like team spiritual leader?
Like D'Lo. He's not with us. He's not with us
Like
here
he's
right
alive
now.
though, right?
Oh my!
Like not as like he's not with us, like he passed on. Okay,
I have no like. He's like a one of one person. Like you want to talk about a one of one?
I want to hear. Yes, I want to hear about D'Angelo. What does D'Angelo do to accomplish team role without being like a hater and a snitch or anything like that? What does he accomplish for the team?
He definitely brings that energy. He's one of our biggest O linemen here this year. He's I don't even know how to describe D'Lo. he's like, like some people that you can't describe with a word, you just have to meet them and you're just like, oh my gosh, I know what they're talking about. Like he's like an indescribable person. He fills up the room with his personality. He's definitely a needed person this year.
And he is right tackle, left guard, center. What is he?
He plays tackle. It doesn't matter left or right. He plays tackle.
I like that. I like a blindside blocker who's got a lot of personality that you're just like. He's also a little weird though. And he's like, man, he's our guy, and everyone has to have that one of it. But he's okay. So he and you said D'Angelo, right?
Yeah, D'Angelo Pollard. Yeah.
Shout out D'Angelo Pollard. We'll put that on the poll. Does everyone all the polls you can find at San Diego at SD Prep Insider on Twitter, on Instagram? We'll put it. Does every team need a D'Angelo? Yes or no?
Yes, we all need a D-Lo in the weight room.
Yeah. So specifically though, the weight room is he like
no,
really
not
anchors
even
it there,
just
or-
the weight room. Like even on the field.
Warm up before practice.
He doesn't have an off switch. Like he's just on go, like 100%
Is he
of
talking to,
condition.
like, does he give a funny pregame speech even? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is. He just gives like some random speech, like, and it's just like out of pocket, but it's just funny. You
If
know?
I get like, should we get him on FaceTime right now to see if he can give us like, an impromptu pregame speech?
Yeah, you get D-Lo.
No, get his. We can actually.
Oh, you guys can actually.
We can produce this well. Hold on, as I say that, I'm trying to get to my camera. We can produce this well, and if you give me his email or his phone number, we can get him on the Zoom.
I don't have his number. I just have his snap. I just have his Snapchat. Anybody
Tell
have
him to DM San Diego SD Prep Insider on Instagram. The best possible way to get a hold of us.
I'll call him on Instagram real quick. Or I'll call him on Snap real quick. Watch this. I'll just call him on Snap.
Or you could just, if you can get good enough audio out of that, you can
Hey,
hold it up.
D-Lo, what's your number?
No, do not put that on the podcast. As he says, you hold that straight into the microphone.
D-Lo, what's your number?
Just have him
Can
say,
you send it to me?
yeah.
Oh, he disappeared.
Oh, he's ducking you.
What's your number? And then hopefully we can get it in soon. No.
All right. Well, while we were waiting for a signature Pollard pregame speech, or just to get to know a D'Angelo to help boost up our team's or season show's morale, for you guys, the experience you were saying on campus has been good, and the Instagram experience has been hype and good. And I'm curious. I feel like largely I am no longer super relevant. Not that I was ever like famous, but the need for a singular media outlet no longer is something that you guys are like, oh my God, like our team made it onto the show. It's nice and it's cool, but you can just do it yourselves now. And you can have a person who's in charge of your edits and your reels and your hype, this and that and the other. So what has it been like, kind of like taking your own control and being like, we're not going to wait for anyone else to come hype us up. We know how good we are. Like, who made that decision? Was that coach? Was that you guys? Because I'm curious where that comes from.
I'd say it first came off with coach, because that was our first time ever getting like that like real experience. Like we're like, oh my gosh, it's a produced highlight reel, and we were all like shell-shocked and surprised. And then it just became, frequent, and we were like, okay, we can do this ourselves and we can continue it on. Like, it's not like something that's out of the ordinary. Like, people do it all the time, and these videos definitely
Have you guys had
surround.
to talk coach into doing stuff? And like, or
No, Coach Dixon. You want to hear Coach Dixon on the field? He's hyped. Like, you want to talk about somebody who'd be funny, mic'd up as Coach Dixon during a game. So yeah, he definitely brings energy.
Yeah, I'm calm in studio right now, right? So,
Yeah, he's calm right now.
this is the laid back version.
Yes.
Did we get?
He sent it on a voice message. Oh, he's in a Fortnite game. What's
That's expected, though. We should have expected that.
This is turning into mediocre content, even by our standards. So I am curious. Do you think this is going to be like under 5 minutes, or we're going to have to dial him in later? All right, let's do this. We'll get a candid camera going. You guys have your own edits. We'll just get someone to get some raw, unfiltered D'Angelo as the season goes on, and then by the end of the season, we'll do like a highlight compilation that is just D'Angelo Pollard. Just 60 seconds of him doing whatever you guys deem to be the funniest stuff that he does, and we'll run that at the end of the season. Deal?
Yeah, deal. We'll make that deal with you.
All right, fair enough. I apologize, Coach, for not asking your permission to ask for that, but the kids said it. They opened the door, and you can't say no to when someone's got a D'Angelo
for sure.
and the ability to mic them up. Anybody else on the way out before we say bye that you guys from the team think that people need to know about this year, that people need to be like they're going to ball out a little bit here? There's some, we already got some younger guys in here, so it's not like you guys are trying to hide it, but maybe just some people that aren't in studio with us that you think might have great seasons.
I'd for sure say Josh Gonzalez, David Flores, Friday Pollard. He's D'Lo's brother.
Wow.
Yeah, Davion. Yeah, for sure.
Zeke.
Because he's young. He's a freshman, so he's learning. Zeke. I'd say Zeke. Zeke what? McIntyre? Is that his last name? McIntyre. Yeah, for sure. He takes some licks during practice, though, but that's fine. What would you say, Coach? That's you. Yeah. What would you say, Coach?
My job is to make sure we go out and win some football games.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. I think we all have contributors on both sides of the ball. We even got a kicker as well. So we're excited about this year. If you look at our schedule, it's a pretty competitive schedule. Except for two teams, eight of the teams we play on our schedule are Division III, Division II, and a Division I opponent in Torrey Pines. So we have a pretty competitive schedule. So I expect our guys to be really battle tested getting into the Division IV playoffs, and I'm good friends with Verlaine, and we text before first practice, and he said, hey man, he said I wouldn't be surprised to see you in Division IV finals. Not that we're making any predictions here, but we are going to be battle tested, and this team has worked extremely hard. I'm really proud to be their coach in this first year, and I look forward to some wonderful things happening.
If you do wind up playing Verlaine in the CIF championship, and I know this is a million miles away, but look out for fourth downs. That dude tends to call really good plays on fourth downs in championship games.
Yeah, I've played against Verlaine a few times over the past couple
Mission
years.
Hill's still salty.
Yeah,
Mission Hill's still very salty.
Absolutely.
Over how that one ended last year.
I know.
3 short wide receiver bubble screens for 0 yards, and then a 35-yard dime to the back corner of the end zone to beat Mission Hills. Seems like an imbalanced, inefficient way to call an offense, but yet Verlaine has 2 state championships, 3 state championships. I can't question.
That's why he rocks the backpack, man. It works. So
it's something in that man's bag. Yeah, deal. Alrighty, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. Go support Escondido football this season. We'll include all the information in terms of how you can get a hold of them and check out their schedule, and we will look out for that D'Angelo Pollard high take to come out later this season. Talk to you guys later.